Hey guys, it's RocketMax32 here, and welcome back to another video. We're wrapping up to the end of 2024. We are not getting any more LEGO Star Wars sets this year, so I thought, what better than to make a tier list video? So we have S through F, and y'all have all seen tier list videos by now, I'm sure. We have every single 2024 LEGO Star Wars set loaded in here, and this is going to be my opinion on how LEGO did in 2024. So let's get right into it. First, we're starting off with this Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon set. It's a really cool set with some really awesome minifigures, but I do think it was a little bit overpriced. We're gonna put it in B tier. We'll put it at the bottom of B tier. I think it's... Nah, we'll bump it down to C tier. I think it's just a little too overpriced for what it is. You're basically getting a rock with a gun on top and some really awesome minifigures, but it's just not really enough to justify that $40. Next up, we have this diorama set. Now, I never really got into the diorama sets, but I think that they're interesting, and this is the Mos Espa Pod Race. For me, this is a D tier set. I know a lot of people are going to be upset about that because they love the dioramas, but the dioramas have never really been my thing. And on top of that, this one, very similarly, is just a big rock for $80 with some small little builds. The builds look great, but I just don't see the value there. LEGO's really gotten into their big rock formations this year, but that leads us directly into not a big rock formation, and actually one of the best sets of this year, in my opinion, that I can't wait to get. This is the 2024 playset ISD, and for me, this is a very easy A tier set. I mean, this is a great set. This is what you want in a playset. It's top quality in how it looks, it's top quality in how it plays, it's strong. From everything I've seen, it just makes me want it, and it doesn't seem too overpriced for what it is, so I'm very excited to get my hands on that. Definitely an A tier set. Moving right along, we have the new R2-D2 set, and in my opinion, I think I mentioned this in a recent video, I think that this is a much better deal than the UCS set. It is a tiny bit smaller, but it looks just as good, and you're getting that Darth Malak in there, which is really awesome. So for me, I think that this is actually going to fall at the bottom of B tier. $100 is a lot, but it is kind of in line with a lot of the other display sets of this size. So I think it kind of gets a pass. I do think LEGO's stretching their bounds a little bit on that, but especially when sitting on the shelf next to the UCS R2-D2. I have seen these next to each other at Target, and seeing that $150 difference makes this set look like a bargain. Moving right along, this is an interesting one. This is the May the 4th gift with purchase. This is the Droid Carrier. And I think that this thing is actually really cool. LEGO nailed it on this. Obviously, if you didn't buy something on May the 4th, you didn't get it, but I think that it looks really good. For me, this is a solid A tier set. LEGO nailed it, and obviously, just because something's not easy to get doesn't mean that it's bad, and I think keeping something exclusive like this is actually really cool for it, and I'm sure that the resale value on this will continue to be very good. This is a weird one. We got the Onyx Cinder. Now, this show's not even out. Like, LEGO, this got leaked probably early 2023, and now we've gotten it at the, second to last quarter of 2024, and it's just a big $70 set with 5 characters we know nothing about. I don't know. For me, it's a solid top of C tier set. I mean, we just know nothing about it. It looks cool. It's a nice big ship. We have no emotional connection to this. You see the ISD sitting on the shelf next to this. Way better deal for something everybody knows. I know that LEGO had this model ready. They produced them all. They needed to get them out there, and they're just kind of waiting around on Disney to get the show out. But unfortunately, still, that does really hurt this set for a lot of people. Next up, very similarly in line with the R2-D2, we have the C-3PO set, and these are actually scaled to each other, which is really cool. Similar to the R2-D2, it's not really a top priority pickup for me, but I'll put it in B tier. I'll put it right next to the R2-D2, kind of like it's supposed to be. It's a good set. It looks really good. It is expensive, and nobody was really asking for this, but what LEGO set out to create, they created perfectly, and so for that, it's definitely a B tier set. Next up, an interesting one. This is just a poly bag. This is the TIE Interceptor poly bag. It's a nice B tier poly bag. I mean, it's a poly bag. It looks exactly like a TIE Interceptor, and it's really small. Now, we have the 2024 Droid and Clone Battle Pack, and this is going into a new category. This is our first S tier set. This is an amazing set. This is the perfect set for army builders. It's the return of the Super Battle Droid. It's the return of the standard P2 white clone trooper. It's battle droids. its clones. For 30 bucks to get this many minifigures is great. The builds are decent. I've seen the videos of people army building tons of these, and it's completely valid. This thing has earned its spot in S tier and kind of gives the original 501st Battle Pack a run for its money, in my opinion. But this is our first S tier set of this tier list. Continuing right along, we have this right here. This isn't even out yet, but it just got announced / leaked. This is the Rebel Scout Speeder and Imperial dropship. It looks really cool. I wish that we had gotten a Shadow Stormtrooper with it, just to kind of point back to the old Imperial dropship. But I think it's a good set. I'm going to put it at the top of B tier. At $40, this is a pretty decent deal in my opinion. You're kind of talking about 2 battle packs in one, the dropship and the Scout Speeder. Both of these great sets. They both look very good, but normally battle packs we're looking at like 4 minifigures, and here we're getting a total of 6, 3 per vehicle. So top of B tier, a little bit overpriced, but honestly, compared to some of the other stuff that we'll see and have seen, it's a pretty good deal. Moving along, we have the MIDI scale Tantive 4. And this thing is cool. I mean, I'll be honest, it is cool. I'm actually going to put it in... I want to put it in A tier. The model deserves to be in A tier. But if you showed me this image and said, how much is this Lego set? $65? Not $85, so we're going to put it in mid-range B tier. I think that's fair. Next up, we have the Invisible Hand. This is a really cool set. We'll go real fast. It's an A tier set. We have never gotten an Invisible Hand in any capacity. We haven't gotten any droid flagships in any capacity. So the fact that we finally have one, I think is deserving of A tier. They nailed it on the model, and I don't think that we could have really asked for much more with that. Next up, we have Jedi Bob's Starfighter, and I think we all know where this is going. This is an S tier set. It's a good price for a great build. It's something that is literally exactly perfect for this theme, the Rebuild the Galaxy theme. It's the perfect excuse for LEGO to make this Jedi Bob figure again. The fact that Disney threw him in there, I think, is awesome. The fact that we have him again, this is one of the best Jedi Starfighters they've ever made, in my opinion. I think it is awesome. This is clearly an S tier set. Go onto YouTube, search Jedi Bob Starfighter. The mania is crazy. People are looking for them everywhere. Whatnot streams are still giving them away left and right because everybody wants them. This is an awesome set that has really kind of just excited the LEGO Star Wars community again. And so with all of that said, I think that this is a clear S tier pick. This is going to be the first F. This is the Droid Builder set. I see what they were going for, but who was asking for it? Nobody wants this. And then they threw one of the 25th anniversary figures in there and then slapped a $100 price tag on it. What? This makes no sense. This is a clear F tier pick. I have no idea what LEGO was thinking. I know they're trying to have some fun, trying to take advantage of the 25th anniversary, give us some fun, different stuff, but nobody wanted this. If they had just given us another buildable character, I think people would have been a lot more happy than all of these mini characters with rubber duckies. Like, I don't really know what the target was. And then, like I said, you put a 25th anniversary figure in there, and now arguably the worst 25th anniversary figure is now in a $100 set and is the only minifigure in there. So she's probably going to end up being like a $40 or $50 minifigure. I think that's ridiculous. This is an F tier set. Next we have the X-Wing and TIE set. D tier. It's D tier. This is one of the worst TIE fighters we've gotten in a while. This is the worst X-Wing we've gotten in a while. Because they have that weird play feature, they just don't look like the best version of themselves. Nobody wants the play feature. I'm really curious how many people are even using the play feature. I don't get it. Maybe if I watched Rebuild the Galaxy, I would think it's really cool and special. But looking at it on the shelf for $100 to $110, this is just an overpriced piece of junk when I could just buy the 2021 TIE Fighter and the 2021 X-Wing. Get better minifigures and better builds. D tier. Next up we have the Droideka set, and this I'm actually going to put in A tier. This is a great set. LEGO nailed it on this. This Droideka looks perfect. It looks so good. Priced relatively reasonably. I mean, considering all of these other things, it's a great buildable character. I don't think a ton of people were asking for it. Some people definitely were, and whoever was, you're a genius. This thing is great. Very excited to see this A tier set. Next up we have the Duel on Peridia, and I'm actually going to give this a high C tier rating. We'll put it at the top of C tier. It's a great set. The only problem is it's $55, and we didn't get one of the coolest looking characters that LEGO has released in a Stormtrooper with Captain Enoch. I think it's cardinal sin that they did not put him in this set. It made plenty of sense. They were making new helmet molds for plenty of other sets in the Mandalorian Season 3 line. Why couldn't we do that for the Ahsoka series? I don't know. Literally put Captain Enoch in that set, changed nothing else, and I would call it not overpriced, and I'd throw it in A tier. That's how big a difference it makes, but with this price and no Enoch, top of C tier. Next up, the Dark Millennium Falcon. I'm going to put this is a hard one. Bottom of A, top of B. We'll put it at the top of B, simply because I don't know if I'm going to buy it. If I do, it'll probably be a last day before it retires. Has a really good deal buy. I think these are some awesome minifigures. I think it is kind of sad that they're locked behind that $170 price point, but that is really good for the resale market. And as far as the build itself, I mean, LEGO made exactly what they set out to make. It's a Dark Millennium Falcon, and it looks perfect to that. But similar to some of the other things on here, nobody was asking for this. Nobody wanted this. When people were theorizing about the Jedi Bob Starfighter, they weren't also theorizing about what if we got a Dark Side Millennium Falcon. So it's cool. It nails exactly what it's supposed to be. The price isn't too far off for kind of some other things of similar piece counts and sizes that LEGO's been releasing, but I just don't think a lot of people were asking for it, and that kind of bumps it out of A tier for me. Next up, we have the Tantive 4 hallway boarding scene, and this is an S tier set for me. Getting 5s is awesome. I didn't think we would ever get that. He looks great. I mean, LEGO really knocked it out with him, and the actual build is great. You get a lot of great minifigures, and it's just a good all-around set. Releasing this at the same time as the MIDI skill Tantive 4 was also very smart. I think displaying them next to each other is really cool, and it's a very iconic scene, so I'm very happy that we have this. LEGO killed it, and it's reasonably priced, so S tier. Next up, we have the Advent Calendar. This is a bottom of D tier set. I mean, we've gotten better Advent Calendars. The Advent Calendars have fallen off, and honestly, all of them are just overpriced for what you actually get. They're for the value of actually getting to open each one leading up to Christmas. They're not for what you get inside, but we are judging this based on what you get inside, so bottom of D tier. We next have the UCS TIE Interceptor. And this, I'm going to give A tier. I mean, it looks great. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. You got an exclusive minifigure in there. LEGO killed it on the model. It's a great set. It's just an A tier set. Not much more I can say about it. It's at the same price as every other UCS set of its size. A tier. Next up, we have the Sith Infiltrator set. I actually reviewed this set, and I had a lot of really positive things to say about it. And I think it is a really good looking set. A lot of great play features in there, but ultimately, it is just overpriced, and that is the sad reality of it. So, very similar to the duel on Peridia, both of them, they're going to end up next to each other. Both in C tier. Getting 3 minifigures on this set, I think is just kind of ridiculous. We could have gotten another Watto. We could have gotten a Naboo pilot. We could have gotten young Obi-Wan. We could have gotten all kinds of different things, and they just didn't do it because they didn't want to. So we end up getting 3 minifigures related to the set. But the Saw Gerrera in there is very awesome. That does raise the value a little bit. But ultimately, overpriced and cool. C tier. We next have the Luke Skywalker mech, and I will very quickly put it in D tier. I think it achieves exactly what it wants to achieve. I think it's the best of the mechs they've released, but I'm just not a fan of LEGO Star Wars mechs. I think it makes sense for, like, the Marvel line. Like, literally, I have the War Machine mech right here, and having War Machine go into a big mechanized robot makes a lot of sense. That's really cool. But having Luke Skywalker get in a mech that looks like an X-Wing, it's cool for kids. It's not for me. D tier. Next up, we have this Mandalorian Battle Pack, and I'm gonna actually put it in S tier. It's a great battle pack. I mean, battle packs, as they go, should be around that $20 price point. We should be getting around 4 minifigures, preferably no named characters, and this checks all those boxes. It also gives us a new helmet mold, and I've been very vocal about how this is one of my favorite Stormtrooper variants / just Trooper variants that LEGO has released. When I first saw them on screen in Mandalorian Season 3, my first thought was, I can't wait to get that in LEGO, and my second thought was, I hope they don't ruin it and try and print that on a helmet that they already have. And guess what? The Lego minifigure looks great, and we got a new helmet mold. This set is great. I'm very happy with it. S tier. Next up, we have the UCS Jabba Sail Barge. Similar to the Imperial Dropship set, this isn't actually out yet, but it just got released, or announced, and it should be out soon. I'm gonna give this... Here's the thing. I wanted to give this A tier. I think it looks beautiful. It should be right next to its other UCS buddy, but we're actually going to put it in B tier. And the only reason is not even its fault. We will talk about it more when we get to the set that is the culprit of this. But comparing it to some other sets, it does feel a little overpriced. It does have that Star Wars bump in price on it for sure. But it's a great looking set. I mean, Lego really did make... I'll put it at the top of B tier. I mean, it is perfect for what it is. It's just too expensive. And that's very unfortunate. Top of B tier for the new set. Now, meanwhile, the other set releasing at the same time as a gift with purchase, we have Luke's lightsaber build, and I'm going to give this A tier. It looks perfect. It's my favorite lightsaber they've released so far. I'm glad that it goes along with the main expensive set that's releasing at the same time. That's the first time that we see Luke ignite his lightsaber is on Jabba's sail barge. I think this is really cool. I'm very happy with it. Definitely an A tier set, and you're getting it for free. Next up, we have the 3-in-1 pack, which is really funny because all three of these sets we did not get in 2024, but we got the 3-in-1 pack in 2024. It's a good discount from all the sets combined, so we're actually going to give it A tier. This is a good combo pack. They all go well together. Problem is, these sets have been out for a while. I feel like anybody who wanted any one of them has them, or if you're like me, I've already bought all three of them. I think it's a good investment set, though. It is very similar to some of the other Clone Wars era 3-in-1 packs we've gotten. And I mean, as far as 3-in-1 packs go, it is just a good combo. So if you wanted these three sets, this is the best way to get them. So A tier. Next up, another F tier. The droid builder has been alone for a while. This is the Crimson Firehawk. What is this set? How is this $50? I genuinely don't understand Lego. This is a 4+ set with 2.5 minifigures, one of the worst builds I've ever seen from the worst series I've ever seen. This is bottom of F tier. I don't know what they were thinking. They released the other 4+ set from that series, and it was cheaper with more minifigures and a more interesting build. It's the first time we saw anything from the Jedi Temple. How is this a thing? Don't wait for this to go. It's going to be selling for like $18 in a year or two, I bet, because none of them are selling. This is a horrible set, horrible value, bottom of F tier. Next up, we have the other polybag that released this year. We have the droid AAT, and I'm gonna put this, we'll put it right next to the TIE Interceptor, B tier. It looks good. It is a polybag build, but they did kind of nail it. We haven't gotten one of these tan AATs since 2013, which is the one that I have a bunch of, but this is a very good looking set for a little micro build. So very cool. Bottom B tier. And now we have the set that so brought down the UCS Jabba's sail barge, and that is the Desert Skiff. The Desert Skiff is a bottom of D tier set, and it has nothing to do with the build. The build is great, minifigures, very good, 9 nub, so excited to see that. We have some other great minifigures there. The selection is great. It is the best Desert Skiff they have made so far, and for some reason, Lego decided to slap an $80 price tag on it. So now, if you want to fully recreate that scene, you need to buy a $500 set and an $80 set. So for $580, you are getting less value than something like the Avengers Tower for $500. It's just kind of crazy to me. Nothing bad about the actual UCS set, but the fact that these are on the shelves at the same time, Lego clearly wants you to buy both of them, and this one is just so overpriced. I've talked to so many people in the Lego community who have looked at the set and said, wow, when I saw pictures, I thought, that's amazing. You see it on shelves, you're like, wow, it looks cool. $80? That's ridiculous. When I first saw the pictures, I always try and guess what the price is going to be. When I saw this, I guessed $45 to $50, and Lego upcharged me by $30 to $35 for what, a couple extra pieces to the Sarlacc to make them a little bigger. I just think it's dumb. I mean, everybody thinks it's dumb. This is an overpriced set. It should never have released at $80. Lego sets are trending in the wrong direction price-wise, and this is, I think, the on-the-shelf clearest example of that. Bottom of D tier. The only reason it's not an F tier is because it's a good set, but I am so frustrated with the pricing of this set that it is at the bottom of D tier. Next up, we have this little Bark speeder. Kelleron Beck is the only thing really holding this up, so I'm gonna give it a mid to bottom C tier rating. I mean, it's a cool speeder. Kelleron Beck is cool. It's a way to get another Grogu if somehow you don't have one, and a way to get some more 501st Troopers, again, if you need more. Comes with Lamp, obviously the biggest value provider there in that set. But at $30, this is clearly overpriced. I mean, looking at this versus some of our S tier sets, you have the Droid and Clone Battle Pack at $30, and you're getting so many more minifigures and a better build. You have the Mandalorian Battle Pack with better minifigures, more minifigures, and cheaper, well, same amount of minifigures if you count Grogu. I just don't see it for this set. Comes with Lamp, which is, of course, great, and like I said, comes with Lamp. And that's really what LEGO wants you to remember, is it comes with the lamp. Moving on, our final set, we have the MIDI scale Millennium Falcon, and I'm actually going to put this right by the Tandem 4. Middle of B. It's a good set. I feel like it's a little overpriced. I want to put it in C tier because we've gotten a MIDI scale Millennium Falcon before, and there's plenty of other MIDI scale ships they could have made, but I'm not going to go do that. I'm going to leave it in B tier, and so it can just exist there next to the Tandem 4. So this is it. This is my 2024 set tier list. I'm really curious what y'all think about it. Please let me know in the comments down below. If you disagree with any of my picks, or if I missed any sets, please let me know. I feel very good with this list, kind of just threw it together on the fly, did it by feel. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is my opinion, so please feel free to let me know if you disagree. This is my 2024 tier list video for every LEGO Star Wars set they have released. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will put a link to Amazon in the description for every single one of the S tier sets. If you don't have one of them, you should pick it up. So there will be links to all of those in the description, and some of them may even have a couple dollars off. There are affiliate links, so they go to help the channel, so I appreciate it very, very much. But that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.